Okay, now we'll see the second mnemonic, and that's called the pegging technique. Now, what is this pegging technique? Now, in the previous technique called the association method, you had seen like how to remember the sequence of words, but not in numeric sequence. Now, we did that story, like we formed all with the story. We linked all the words with the story. And then suddenly somebody asks, what is number 15? Then we can't recall immediately. You have to go again in sequence. There's something like linear thinking. But using pegging technique, we can even recall the word along with the numeric sequence. There's so many other applications of this pegging technique. But initially we will actually get started with the basics of the pegging technique. In the Vedic days, in the olden days, the ancient Indians called this technique as Nyasa, N-Y-A-S-A, Nyasa. Okay, that was a technique given to the pegging system. Okay, so this is actually something like magic. The people who actually who see the people who perform this Nyasa, they just get amazed. Like they just think like these people have some supernatural powers. Like so, it is something like that. So this Nyasa involves some basic techniques, like a basic introduction, which you have to get acquainted with. So what exactly is this Nyasa is, or the pegging system is? Like see, basically the numbers, the basic numbers are 0 to 9. You all know that, okay? So based on the numbers from 0 to 9, we can form any number, right? And all the literature is based on the vowels and consonants, right? So they have taken all this only into consideration, and then they actually developed this Nyasa, okay, or the pegging technique. So initially we got to get acquainted with certain rules for this pegging technique. So what we do, we learn something like mantra only. This is a kind of mantra, learning mantra. Now mantra means, don't get baffled with the word mantra. The literal meaning of the word mantra in Sanskrit is sound, okay. So when you talk about the ancient epics, the ancient stories in the India, they say that all this universe is formed with a sound. They say that, okay. Even in the Bible, they say that God has created all this universe with sound by saying, okay. So like the basic energy in the universe is actually sound, okay. So in this Nyasa, what we do is we assign the basic digits from 0 to 9 some mantras, that is sounds, okay. So it takes a bit time for you to understand this particular pegging technique. So what you got to do is, here you can see one table, just one table out here, where I'll give you the phonetic constants. Now, first understand the word phone. I said, wait, first understand phonetic constants. The literal meaning of the word phone is sound again. See, again, phone is not an English word. Phone is again a Greek word. We said telephone, right? Both the words, tele and phone, are Greek words, where tele means far distant and phone means sound. Here I said phonetic means sound related, okay? And constant means something which is fixed, which cannot move, okay? So what we do in this pegging system, we first try to assign all the basic digits from 0 to 9 certain sounds, okay. So let's learn this phonetic constants first. So here in the table, I give you some numbers, followed by the phonetic constants, followed by the sound, and followed by the aid, how to remember that, okay. Now let's get started. The first number is number 1, okay, and number 1 we need to remember it with a phonetic constant T or D, T and D, okay. The sounds for T and D. So let me tell you, this was in actually Sanskrit when the foreigners took this techniques to their country to develop. So they had some initial problems, but later they passed up all the problems. So generally the sound ta and T and D gives sound like t and d, okay. So in English we write t as T, d as D, right? That's it, as simple as that. So the phonetic constant for 1 is T and D, and the sounds are t and da, or in Telugu or Hindi, it's ta or da or ta or da. Okay, right. So ta and da. That's the sounds for 1. And how do you remember that? Y for number 1, T and D. You can see this illustration. To write number 1, I have to write, I have to just put one downstroke. See, only when I draw one downstroke, I can write T. To write D also, I have to use one downstroke. See, one downstroke. So T and D has one downstroke. You may say, sir, there are so many other letters which have downstrokes like that. So don't bother about it. It's only an 8 to remember that. Just for a few minutes you have to remember this, okay? As we go ahead in the further numbers, you will easily understand all this, okay? So number 1, T and D, sounds are ta and da or ta and da. And the 8 is one downstroke in T and D, that's why 1, okay? Next number is number 2. We remember number 2 with a phonetic constant N. The sound is N. Why for number 2 N? What is the 8 to remember that? Very simple. See, T and D, one downstroke. 2 downstrokes. See, I write 2 downstrokes and then add a slanting line, it becomes N. Or I write 2 downstrokes and add a curve, it becomes N. It is only an 8 to remember. It is not just because that it has come. It's only an 8 to remember that. It's again a form of a mnemonic, okay? So one downstroke, 2 downstrokes, okay? Now the next number is 3. 3 we have to remember with the phonetic constant M. And the sound is Ma. Why for number 3 M? Very simple. Now one downstroke, 2 downstrokes, 3 downstrokes. See, you can write M with write 3 downstrokes and add curves, it becomes M. Does it not? So number 3 M. Or do one thing, this 3, right? Just invert it like this. Does it become M? You must say W also, but don't go for all that, okay? Just take 3 and then invert it like this, it becomes M. Okay, that's why number 3 M. Okay, 4. Now maybe you're wondering, is there any 4 downstroke letter in English? There is no 4 downstroke letter in English. So what we do, we write the spelling of 4, F-O-U-R, 4. In 4, what is the 4th and the last letter? F-O-U-R, R, right? So number 4, we are using R. Or in Hindi, we say 4 as char, C-H-A-R, right? Again, char has 4 letters, the 4th letter is R. So that's why for number 4, it is R. Okay. The 8 is write F-O-U-R and underline R. Okay. Next, number 5. We remember number 5 with a phonetic constant L. The sound is L. Okay. Now the 8, why for number 5 L? Very simple. Now just look at my fingers. Okay. I am showing you 5 fingers. When I am showing you 5 fingers, you can see the formation of letter L. Got it? That's why for number 5 L. There is only an 8 to remember. It's not just because of that it has come. It's only an 8 to remember that number 5 L. Okay. So number 5 we remember with phonetic constant L. Okay. Next, number 6. Number 6 we remember with a phonetic constant. Like, okay, go to a small little child who is only 2.5, 3 years old. Okay. They'll learn just to speak now. And ask a small little kid to say 6. They'll probably say chich or they say shish. Okay. That's it. From this the first sounds. They say chich, ch. Okay. When they say shish, sh. So for 6, ch and sh. Okay. The sounds are sha and cha. Okay. Ch is cha, sh is sha. Okay. Cha and sha. Okay. Apart from ch and sh, there is also one more sound for 6, and that is j. Do one thing. Take 6 and put it before a mirror. The mirror image of 6 appears like j. Got it? So that's why for number 6 it's also j. Now it is not just because you have put 6 before the mirror that appears like j. It's only an 8 to remember that. Okay. So you just understand this. Okay. So the sounds as of now are CH, SH, J. Ch, sh and ch. Okay. There's also one more letter to this. Now, English, as I told you, you have to be very careful with this language, okay? It's a very good language to speak, but there are certain rules which you have to follow, okay? Now, there's also one more letter in English literature which sounds like J, exactly like J. Though you write that letter, it appears like J only. What could be that letter? And that letter is G. Example like giraffe. It's not J-I-R-A-F-F-E, it's G-I-R-A-F-F-E, right? So see, this G is sounding like J. Let me tell you, almost 90% G's sound like G. You take any spelling with G and pronounce it. God, gang, grapes, gun, all the sounds, all the words starting with G sound like Ga only. But only 10% G's sound like J. So English people have actually understood this thing and they actually give names for this also, like the G which sounds like J, they call it soft G. The G which sounds like G, they named it hard G. Now tell me, here we have CH as a J. Which G will fit here? It is G soft. For that reason, for number 6, it is G soft also. See, the sound is one, but there are two letters which are sounding like J. That's why J and G soft. Sound is same, J, but two letters because two different letters giving one single sound. So for 6, it is CH, SH, J and G soft. The 8, you can think like a small child saying 6. There's a chich and shish, and the mirror image of 6 is J. Substitute for J is G soft because G soft sounds like J. Okay. Next, number 7. Now very simple. When you write cursive written K, you can see two 7s in that. One J forward and one K forward and one K reverse. Okay. For that reason, number 7, we take it as K. For 7 it is K. And G. Now it's G hard. Previously it was G soft, right? So we use one more G here, then that should be G hard. Now like kg, kilogram, 1 kg, half kg, what a kg. Use the word kg, right? To measure the weight, okay? The unit of weight, kilogram, right? So kg, just like kilo and gram. Okay. So sounds are k and g. Okay. Now, as I told you, English, you got to be very careful once again, okay? There's one more letter in English literature. More than K, we use that letter for Ka sound. You know what's that? And that is C. When you spell any word like camera, Coke, cash, car, continental, all K's are C only. K's are very little. For K, we use C. Again, C is giving two sounds, mind you. Okay, one is K, the other one is S. Like in cyanide, cinema, cylinder, cyclone. Okay, the C sounds like S. So the English people have understood this and they named it, of course, they're very well named, The C which sounds like K, they named it C hard. The C which sounds like S, they named it C soft. So as of now here we have K, right? So which C will fit here? It should be C hard. Now mind you, K and C hard, both are same. So both are giving one sound, Ka only. And G of course Ga. Okay. So for 7, the phonetic constants are K, G hard and C hard. And the sounds are K and G. And in the 8, you can take it as cursive written 7 has, K has 7. And you can write kg, kilogram, the kilogram, K and G, see, the initial sounds, K and G. That will remind you of K and G. And substitute for K is C hard, like sound like Ka only, like in cat, cam, coal, and so forth, okay. So that C is C hard, okay. Next, number 8. We remember number 8 with phonetic constant F and V. Why for 8 F? Very simple reason. Now, if you write F in cursive writing, the cursive written F and 8 both have something in common, and that is the two loops. F and 8 have two loops, see, the upper loop and lower loop, the upper circle and the lower circle, right? So for that reason, we are taking 8 as F. So there's only 8 to remember, not just because of that it has come, okay? I'll tell you later why they have taken these combinations only in the later chapters. But as of now, you understand in the phonetic consonant for 8 are F and V. The sounds are F and V. In the 8, you can write down F and 8 have two loops. And why F and V? Now, I give a very silly thing. I don't know, the brain accepts silly things quicker than logical things. Somebody came and asked you to write F, and you're writing F like V. And he asks you, why you're writing F like V? So you say, like, sillily, just jokingly, you say that writing F like V is my weakness. Just that weakness will remind you of V for a while. Just understand this joke for a while until you are through with this F and V, the 8th F and V. Later you don't have to remember this joke at all, okay? So writing F like V is your weakness, okay? So 8 F and V, right? So sounds of F and V. 8 you can write that F and V have two loops and V is equal to weakness, okay? Next, we'll go for next number, that is number 9. In number 9, very easy. 9 is so easy. Now, very simply, upside down 9. Make it ulta, right? Okay. What's the formation of letter? It forms B, see? It forms small b, right? So for that reason, for number 9, it is B. Now see, 9 just tilt it sideways. It becomes P. Got it? That's it. So number 9, B and P. Okay, the sounds are B and P. Very easy A to remember. So in the A, write down upside down 9, you get B. Tilt 9 sideways, you get P. So 9, B and P. The next number is 0. That's the last number, okay? 0. Now how do we remember 0? We remember 0 with a very simple letter, okay? How do you spell 0? Z for 0. And that's it. For 0, it is Z. That's it. 0, Z. Okay. Now, there is one more letter in English literature which sounds like Z. Exactly Z. What is that letter? It's not J. J is like J. I'm saying it sounds like Z. Z. And the letter is S. Like examples are like rose, fuse, cousin, busy. See, though you are writing S, it is sounding like Z. Okay. So for that reason, for 0, it's also S also. Z and S. Okay. And next letter, this what I've actually explained to you, that there's one more letter in English literature which sounds like S, and that is C soft. Well, like example, where C sounds like S. I give example of cylinder, cyanide, central. Okay, so many other words. Okay, 90% C's are C hard, cars. Only 10% C's are C softs, like it sound like S. Okay, and because we have the sound S here in 0, Z and S, so the sounds are Z and S. There it is, Z for 0, and substitute for Z is S, and substitute for S is C soft. So all these three sounds are interlinked. Okay, so that's it. So this is the explanation for the phonetics. Now, what you can do now is, you got to commit this numbers along with their phonetic constants and sounds also. Anyways, remembering sound is not a great deal, anybody can tell that T means T, R means R, P means P, anybody can give out the sound. Okay, the phone we can give out anyways. But we need to understand that for what number, what letters we get, we need to understand it perfectly. So I'll give you 5 minutes time. At this point of the video, you can just pause it. You can just go through all these phonetic constants. Don't commit to memory by heart. I gave a logic. I gave you the aid. 1 downstroke. T and D has 1 downstroke. 2 has 2 downstrokes. N. 3 has 3 downstrokes. M. 4 F O U R. Do you all remember that? 5 L. 6 small child. Chich, shish. CHSH. Mirror image of 6 J. Substitute J is G soft. 7, cursor written K, you all remember that? kg, kilogram, and K and C hard, K sounds, okay? C hard. 8, 2 loops, F and 8, 2 loops, okay? F and V, weakness, you all remember that? 9, make it upside down, B, tilt sidewards, P, 0, Z for 0, substitute is S, substitute of S is C soft. I suggest you just commit to memory with the aid. Don't by heart it at all, okay? It takes just 5 minutes time, just go through all this phonetic constants for a while, and after 5 minutes you can play the video. I'll go on with the higher concepts with this phonetic constants. Okay, now did you learn all the phonetic constants? I said not to master them, just get the gist of all the phonetics from 1 through 0, okay? Now how to master these phonetics? Don't worry, we also have an exercise for that. Now mind you, the next set of exercises what I'm going to give you, this will boost up both your left and right brains, okay? So the first exercise what I'm going to give you to master these phonetic constants is this. It's called convert numerics to phonetics. It's a very easy and simple exercise. Now what you're going to do is, now look at the numbers here. Okay, I give a number here, see, it's 4105, okay. I wrote the numeric form. You got to convert that into phonetic form. Now 4, what is the phonetic constant for 4? Try to recall from your memory only. Don't try to again go back or write somewhere and have a look at that, okay. Maximum you must try to recall from your mind only, okay. So what you do is, just 4 is R. 1, what do you get? 1 you get T and D, okay. So write T and D. Next you get 0, you have 3 phonetic constants, okay. Z, S and C soft. You have to mention all of them, all the 3 you have to mention. Finally 5 it is L, okay. So I'm going to give the phonetic form, you go write the numeric form. Okay, let me explain one more example. You say 9283, okay, there's the number there, okay. Now 9283, 9, what is the phonetic constant for 9, okay. Phonetic constants are B and P, okay, write B and P. Maximum recall from your mind only, the phonetics. Don't try to look in the book or like don't try to again go back in the video and then check it once again, okay. Okay, because this is the first exercise, once in a while you can see, but try to avoid seeing it again and again, okay. And next you have 2, after 9 2, right, 2 is N, 8 you have F and M, and 3 it's M, okay. You have to recall all the phonetics, okay. So I gave you some set of exercise, see. So okay, the next one is, I'll explain one more, 6714, okay. What is the phonetic constants, okay. Okay, 6 is CH, SH, J and G soft. So you have to mention small s in the bracket, C and right soft in the bracket, so it mentions C soft, okay. Then 7, it is K, G and C hard, all the 3 you have to mention. Then it is 1 is T and D, and finally 4 it is R. So all the phonetic constants you have to recall, okay. So like that, here are some of the exercises. So what it is, at this point of video, pause the video, just see the phonetic constants, I mean the numeric values here, and to the numeric values, write their phonetic constants. Mind you, this is a very, very powerful exercise for both left and right brains, okay. You first accomplish writing the phonetic constants for all these numerics. Once you are done, get back to me. I'll teach you the higher concepts in this exercise. Okay, if you have finished this exercise, I suggest you work on more and more such exercises. Now yeah, I gave only 10 exercises, right? But if you want to master this phonetics, you have to work minimum on 100 such exercises. There are 10 problems, right? But you have to work on 100 problems, what I mean to say, not like 100 exercises, okay? Or 100 sets, okay? So you only worked on 10 problems. On the whole, you have to work on 100 problems like this. Only then this phonetic constants will get into your mind. They'll become your second nature. So that's what you have to gain at the end. Like all these phonetics must become your second nature. Okay. So with a bit practice, okay, you can master all this phonetic constants. Okay. Now before we go any further in the application of this phonetic constants, okay, for the next technique to come, we'll do one more exercise. But before that, let me explain you. If you have seen the phonetic constants, All these are meticulously planned by our ancients. Okay, you have seen for certain numbers, they use certain letters only. For example, number 1 they use TD. For number 6 they use CH, SH, J. They use for number 8 F and V, for 7 K and G. For number 9 B and P, for 0 Z S C soft. Why not they use T and R? Okay, that's a doubt, right? Why not F and M? Why only F and V? Why B and P? Why not L and G? Like, some letter like that. What is the logic behind this particular phonetic constants? Okay, there's a lot of logic in this particular phonetic constants and their combinations. Okay, if you have seen our phonetic constants, did you notice that we haven't used certain letters? We use almost all, but few of them we haven't used in our system. You know what they are? Okay, we'll first talk about the invalid letters in our system. The invalid letters are the vowels, the A, E, I, O, U. See, we haven't used a single vowel in our system. That means they phonetically have no value. That means no number should be assigned to this particular vowels. Since we haven't used the vowels in our system, don't think they are waste. They are of no use to our system. Mind you, without vowels, we can't create even a single word. Come on, just say out a word without using a vowel. You can never ever. Okay, there are certain words which we don't apply practically the vowels, but if you pronounce the word, you are using a vowel. Example of a word such like that is rhythm. Rhythm, okay? In the word rhythm, okay, we are not applying a vowel. In the spelling we are not applying. But when you pronounce, see, you're saying re, see, re, the, ma, rhythm, you're using a vowel there. You can never ever pronounce even a single word. You can't create a single word without using vowels. So that's the beauty about the vowels, okay? Okay, in our system we'll be using them in a different way anyways. And apart from vowels, the other letters, what are the other letters apart from the vowels are called? They're called as the consonants, okay? So apart from the vowels, we also haven't used certain consonants in our system. And they are H, only H we haven't used anywhere. We use CH, of course. To say ch in English, there's no special letter in English to pronounce ch. So we use CH. But we haven't applied only H anywhere. So apart from vowels, letters like H, Q, W, X, Y, they are also invalid letters in our system. Why the other consonants are invalid, let me tell you. Okay, if you take only H, H is like ha. Okay, it's again a form of A only, like it's dealing like A only. It's again going near to A. So they omitted H. Q, maybe you're wondering why they haven't used Q. Okay, let me tell you what sound does Q give out. So we know T gives ta, M gives ma, L gives la, F gives fa. Can you tell me what sound does Q give out? You think it's k? Incorrect. Q doesn't give k. Q gives sound like qua. Qua. So these sounds exist only in the foreign literature. Okay, like in English, French and German and Arabic. Only in such foreign languages they apply these sounds. Okay. So this qua does not exist in Indian literature. Okay. So anyways, they omitted like Q because Q is it's actually not k. It is qua. So they omitted Q. Next W. Okay. So what is wrong with W? What sound does W give? Why do we use this W in our system? Okay, tell me what sound does W give out? You think it is like V, were? No. No, incorrect. It's not. W doesn't give out like V, like were. Now, W is like war. Now what is war? Okay. Now when you say were, this is called the dental fricative. I'm going to talk about it very immediately, why we use those letters, okay, in that particular numbers. So V and W both are not same. V is were, W is war. When you say water vapor, then you can understand more clearly. When I say water, see my mouth goes round and my teeth is not touching the lips. See, water vapor. When I say vapor, my upper two teeth will touch the lower lip. It's called the dental fricatives. The sounds are called dental fricatives. Okay. So so W, it is not V, so they omitted W also. Okay. Then X. What's wrong with X? See, with X, there are very few words which you can form with X. And the problem with X is all the words starting with X are sounding like Z, and all the words ending in X are sounding like Ka and Sa. So there's a problem there, confusion there. And X is wrong, don't use it, right? Okay. So they avoided even X also. And Y is like a vowel only, I. Okay, so they omitted Y also. Okay, that's why A, E, I, U, H, Q, W, X, Y are invalid in our system. They don't represent any number in our system, but they have a very major role to play in our system that we're going to see in the future techniques to come. Okay. Now, if you see the Indian literature and the foreign literature, there's a lot of difference, and if you ask an English guy, why you write A, then B, then C, then D, they probably can't explain why they write like that. But the Indians can very well explain why they write like that. Why they write I, E, then they write Ka, Ka, Ga, Ga, Cha, Cha, Ja, Ja, and up to Gnya. Why they write like that? They can very well explain why. The logic there, it's a wonderful logic there. Okay, why they have written the literature like that. Okay, if you see the in this particular illustration, okay, so I have written in Hindi. Okay, I have taken Hindi as a base. Okay, first I have written A to Hama, then Ka to Gnya. Okay, now this A to Amaha, they are nothing but they call it Swar. All the languages in the world are based on two things, vowels and consonants. So in our Indian literature, they first gave all the vowels, A, E, U, A, I, O, all these are vowels. Okay, so they gave the vowels first. Then they gave the Vyanjan, or we call the consonants. Okay, later they gave the consonants. So in the first category, they wrote all the vowels. Later they gave the consonants. Okay, and they also are meticulously planned. Okay, first word Ka, Ka, Ga, Ga, Nya. Okay, then Cha, Cha, Ja, Ja, Ni. Okay, then Ta, Ta, Da, Da, Na, Ta, Ta, Da, Da, Na. Okay, Pa, Fa, Ba, Ba, Ma. Okay, then Yara, Lava, Sha, Sa, Sa, Ha, Sha, Tra, Gnya. Okay, why is it written like that? Okay, now if you see this particular consonants in Hindi, you understand that. They wrote Ka, Ka, Ga, Ga, Nya. Okay, now, okay, let me come to that a bit later. Now, in our system, just see the numbers and the phonetic constants, and then tell me for number 1, what is the phonetic constant? Okay, it is T and D. The sounds are T and D. Now look at the table there. Okay, T and D. T and D come from the same line. See, they come from the same line because they are called as the alveolus. In English, they call these sounds called as alveolus. Okay, and they wrote first ta ta da da, then ta ta da da. Okay, they call the post alveolus. See what meticulous they have planned it. Okay, and in our system we take T and D, the ta or ta, anyway same. Okay, so alveolus, they call the alveolus. Okay, and then they come from the same line. That's why they took T and D. Why not T and P? Because of this reason. Because the way you pronounce it in the word in your mouth. Check it out once. So you say T and D. Check it out. See, alveolar is in your mouth. Okay, you got touch almost the palate part. Okay, it's a T and D internally in the mouth. The tongue touches the alveolar part. Okay, that's called the alveolar. Okay, so it touches that particular part to produce the sound. So that's why T and D come from the same line. That's why number 1 they have taken T and D. Why not T and R? Because this isn't, both the sounds are alveolus. Okay, okay, number 2, 3 and 4 and 5, they're all single sounds. 2 is called a nasal, alveolar nasal again. See, ta ta da da na, right? So alveolar again nasal, because this sound is actually alveolar. Again, it's produced with the help of the nose. The vibration goes to the nose. Okay, that's why number 2 and okay. Number 3 is again a single word. It's again called the bilabial nasal, M-ma. You say ma, there's a vibration in the nose again. So bilabial is what you produce with your lips, okay? So they give number 3. 4, okay, it's again a palatal fricative because the tongue touches the palate and then there's a friction there. R, see? So then it's called palatal, they give 4 for that. And 5, it is la. It's called alveolar lateral approximate. See the way you pronounce t and la. Just see t, la. Almost same, see? But la, it is not like the, right? So it's almost the same. The way the tongue is touching in the mouth, place is same, but the sound is different. That's why it's also alveolar, but it's called alveolar lateral approximate. So all these are 1 letters, so no problem at all. Now let's go for 6. Number 6. Letters are C, H, S, H, J. Sounds are ch, sh, j. Now these sounds are called the palatals. Palate. Inside the mouth, the upper part is called the palate. The upper part. That part, this is the tongue, this upper part is called the palate. These sounds are produced with the palates, the tongue touching the palate. Ch, check it out. J. And see, ch and j come from the same line, see? Cha and ja, cha, cha, ja, ja, nya, right? Okay? See, they are both coming from the same line because they are palatals. Number 7, it is K and G. The sounds are k and g. See, ka and g come from the same line and they are called the velas. These sounds are called velas. Why don't we use T and R in our system? Because this k and g, they are called the velas. But they are produced, somewhere, at the back part of the mouth, okay? When take the mouth, it's almost like, this is the teeth part, okay? This is the palatal part and just behind that, okay? It's a k. We don't require tongue to say k. K when you don't require tongue, okay? So that sounds, the English people have named it as velas, okay? These are all covered in the topic of phonetics, right? Okay. These are called the velas. That's why in number 7, they use K and G. Okay. Number 8, they use 8, okay, 8, F and V. These sounds are called dental fricatives. What do you mean by the word dental? Dental is teeth. Fricative, okay, with friction it produces, okay? You say f and v, see, the upper 2 teeth will touch the lower lip, okay? So they are called the dental fricatives. That's why they put F and V in one line. No, of course not in our Indian literature, but anyways, in our system, why they took it as 8 for these 2 sounds only. So both are dental fricatives, okay? Next, number 9, okay, they took B and P, ba and pa. Both these sounds are called the bilabials, okay? So these called the, the sounds which are produced with the lips. The 2 lips, must touch with each other to produce the sound like pa and ba. And check it out here in the Indian literature, pa and ba come from the same line, okay? Okay, now you can see the last line, ya, ra, la, va, sha. They are, pulled from the upper things, okay? The first, there's one velar in this line, there's one palatal in this line, and there is one, what do you say, dental fricative in this line, the va is there. So from 1, 1, 1, from the upper lines, from ka, ka, ga, ga to, like up to pa to bha, ma, okay? Again from this line, they took all 1, 1 from there. Whatever sounds are extra produced, in the form of post velas, alveolus, and palatals and fricatives. They took 1, 1, 1 from that particular line. Okay. The last letter is s. Okay. So it's called alveolar fricative. This s is actually alveolar fricative. This is s. See again, the tongue goes and touches at the same point where it is touching for T. Th. But it's a fricative, see? It's producing like a friction sound. So it's called the sound S. The last sound is S. Okay, in English it is Z, of course. Okay, but here in our Hindi literature, the last letter is Sa. There are others also, like Ksha, Tragya, what they are? They are called Samyuktakshar. What is this Samyuktakshar? They are combination of 2 different sounds. Okay, Ksha, Ka and Sha. Tra, ta and ra, gnya, ga and na. Okay, that's it. The last sound is actually sa only. That's it. Okay. So this is how our Indian literature is meticulously planned, and then that's why they took this particular letters for that particular number only. They didn't let go even a single letter in vain. They used all the letters perfectly. Okay, and of course they haven't used the what do you say, the vowels and some consonants also. They also used. So they also very much used. You can see it in the higher concept. Okay, this is the Vedic base. How from the Vedas, like they extracted all these phonetics and how they gave it to us. Okay, now let's go for the next exercise.